Hello YouTube, this is Super Person, and I am here to talk about something otherkin and Therian related. And this video is about my views on how to tell family and friends you're an otherkin or a Therian, and who you should tell and all that mess. Because it's sort of, I think, an interesting question, and um, this question is really up to you in a lot of senses. I'll give my opinion on it, but really, if you're a Therian or an otherkin, this is totally up to you, your relationship with your family, and how, because you know them better than anyone. I don't know your family. One family, if you tell, like, one parent, if you tell them this information, they may think you're insane. Another parent may laugh it off. Another parent may think you're serious. So this is sort of like, this is totally up to the individual families and people and all that, but you obviously know that. This is just my thoughts. And my thoughts are, tell them if, you should tell them if you feel like it is important to you that they know. Like, if you don't think, in my opinion, if you don't think that them knowing will affect anything, like maybe they'll shrug it off and not care, or think you're insane, then maybe it's better off not to tell them. Like, there is some family, I will never tell this. There's most of my family will never know about this. I don't have much experience coming out to people about this because honestly, I have the view that if it doesn't affect them, then I don't see any point telling them. Like, the people I think you should tell 100% is your significant other, like if you're dating someone. Because if it's that important to you, like that you shift or something weird, or that much of a core ideal that it's who you are, obviously. But if you really care that much about it, I think it's almost wrong not to tell your significant other about such a thing. My view, of course, but luckily my boyfriend is a Therian himself, so that's sort of like not a big deal, obviously, to tell him. He knew in the beginning, but I can't imagine like them not knowing. Like, even before I was dating him, when I went into casual dating, I always knew I wanted to find someone open-minded because at some point the whole otherkin thing would have to be brought up because I do the whole mental shifting thing, and my mental shifts get really intense. And there's no way I can stop them at certain points. And they're gonna find out at some point when I'm on all fours growling and being weird that there's something weird going on with her. I won't be really able to control myself in that moment. So it's gonna come up at some point. So with a significant other, I think it's important you tell them if you think it's important to you that they know. That kind of goes for everything, though. Like, family. Like, if you're younger, do you think your mom and dad should know? Well, that's sort of up to you. I may tell my mother one day, just because my mother is more open-ish about it. So she's sort of weird in her own regards. So her being slightly weird, and she knows some of my spiritual stuff, so, I don't think otherkin is that, I mean, it's a stretch from my other spiritual stuff, but it's not like I think she may be able to assume it. I don't know, but I may tell her. But like other family, I would never tell. Like my dad, I would never tell. My older brother, I would never tell. Grandmother, never tell. Aunts and uncles, God, no, I never tell them. I don't think it's necessary to tell them if it doesn't affect them. It's not going to change their views on me if in a positive light. I may be nice. I think in the ideal world, I'd love it if I could just tell everyone and everyone would just know. So when they look at me, they see the entire me. They go, oh yes, you know what I mean? They see the full you and not just like the mask you that you always have to put on in times like this. But ideal world, you could tell them. But, real world, most family, if I told them, it would just be a negative thing. It would not change their view of me in a positive way. It would not make our relationship as family any easier. If anything, it would cause snags and stuff, and it's not worth it. But, like, with you, if your parents, like, if you're younger and you want your parents to know, that's up to you. Do you think your parents would handle this information right? Is it very important to you that they know this? Like, if it's really important to you, then tell them. If that's something you need to tell them. But if it isn't, and you think it's just going to cause lots of issues, and maybe they're going to not be so happy about it, it might be wise not to tell them such things if it's not crucial or critical that they know this about you. My view on this matter. But like that goes like family and everything. Like I said, the only person I think you really should tell is people you're very close to. Like if you have a friend who's really you're really close to and you guys have similar beliefs or they're really open, like you have to judge the person to know if they're gonna accept this or not think you're completely insane. So if you know your friend, if your friend's really cool guy and or a really awesome girl and she really, it's just really nice and you know that they may accept this, then tell them. Or maybe you don't care if they accept it and they just want them to know, then you tell them. That's totally up to you. Coming out to people is a complicated thing. Coming out of the forest, coming out of the animal shed or whatever you want to call it. I can't remember the term from the other video, but coming out of the wilderness. But it's sort of a complicated thing. It's up to you. You know your family. I don't know your family. I know my family, and from my experience, God knows what I tell anybody except for a few people. Only my younger brother knows. One of my friends technically knows, but it's sort of like one of those things where I hope they forgot. Like maybe I regret telling said friend in the beginning. It's like, just because it's so weird, I just rather that whole information just go out of their mind. Out. So with me, it's like one brother, boyfriend obviously knows, and the one friend sort of knows. I sort of gotta hope he forgot, but because we don't talk about it. It's not like it's a thing you talk about with them. Yeah. So that is the video. I don't know what else I can talk about with this. It's sort of a you know who should know, you know your family, you know your friends, and basically the rule of thumb of this is if you feel like it's super important that they know and it's bothering you that they don't, then tell them. That's the thing. If you think it doesn't matter, like with me, if you think it's not going to affect them, I mean, I'd like them to know, but it doesn't bother me that they don't know, and it's just going to be a negative thing down the road, then it's like, no. If you have the shifty thing like I do, where I do the whole mental shifting thing and it gets really intense, I tell people who will see it at some point, like my younger brother I'll move in at one point with soon. It's like, he's going to see it at some point. I can't hide that forever, so he's going to hear things when I'm shifted or see things. So that's sort of out the gate. I have to tell him kind of thing. Like boyfriend, even if he wasn't a Therian or another king, I'd have to tell a boyfriend it because they're going to know eventually. That's just how this works. It's sort of who you are. There's no hiding that. Well, it depends on how you shift. I just happen to have the mental shifting that gets really ridiculously intense at times. Which is cool, don't get me wrong, that's entertaining, but it can be somewhat troublesome, That's its own little thing, can of worms. But that is it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them. Hopefully they are positive, I hope. I will say this, if I get lots of negative comments on any video from now on, I will block comments just because they're not productive at that point. It's just a waste of life and a waste of my time to see them pop up on my phone all the time saying, you have a comment, and I go and look at it and it's just another negative comment. So in that case, just letting you know, if I get lots of negative comments, comments will be disabled on videos just because I really don't want to deal with it. So, feel free to leave positive comments, though. I love hearing your comments and like hearing that my information helped you in some way. Also, feel free to ask questions, video topics you'd like to know. I will get to them, so on and so forth. Check out my latest update video just made before this, and that kind of goes over things. But, yes. So, thank you for watching. I will debate what the next topic will be. I have no idea what it'll be. No idea. Once again, leave comments to give me suggestions, because I have no idea what I should do a video on. Anyway, thanks. And you guys have a super day.